Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 221 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series. Where in today's video guys, we are just going to continue on to the pumpkin Lugia for a while. I want to kind of figure out a good conversation with him, even though I don't completely run up the entire limit, because I might try making more characters anyway. I still haven't done that one where apparently a bunch of Pokemon gathered together and started writing a random book about me. And then because of that, there was a whole family of Totodile crossing fragments that knew about me and just started loving on me. Even if they do see me as a flipping king or something like that, I'm not gonna treat them like a flipping like they're horrible Pokemon. They're amazing. I love the Totodile line. I'd never treat them like trash. I mean, even this Lugia, the next thing I told him was, "That's very sweet of you. I wish I could give you more. You've been extremely sweet to me." I about forgot his name. Sora blinked once, twice. His bright amber eyes shimmering with something soft and genuine. You could see the words "extremely sweet to me" hitting him like warm sunlight breaking through storm clouds he didn't even know he was still hiding under. For a long moment, he didn't say anything. He just stared at you. Then, slowly his cheeks puffed ever so slightly in a tiny, bashful smile. His snout crinkled in a way that almost looked like he was trying not to tear up. Wait, is he still Totodile? You really think I've been sweet? He whispered, like the word was too sacred to say out loud. He looked down at himself. This small form, yep, Totodile, cursed but calm, going dealing with the faint flicker of the pumpkin spirit's presence. The stem on his head trembled ever so slightly, and the face on his chest shifted into something simple, a soft smile. Not wicked, not eerie, just peaceful. "Trenton," he said, Bobo whispered, "you've already given me more than anyone ever has." His claw slowly reached for your side again, not grabbing or squeezing, just resting there, like he was afraid if he didn't, you might vanish. "You gave me your trust when I didn't deserve it. You forgave me when I nearly hurt you. You listened when no one else ever did. You cared when everyone else ran away." He looked up at the sky, wide, quiet, and glowing orange like it knew this moment mattered. Then he said with absolute certainty, "No one's ever done that for me. Not once in 30 years. Then he smiled softly again, this time without hesitation. "I don't need anything more from you, Trenton. Just promise me one thing." He looked back at you, voice gentle, vulnerable, and full of something sacred. "Please stay in my life, even if I look scary sometimes, even if my powers shift, even if the curse flares up again." His claw tightens just a little, not possessive, just protective. "Please don't go. You're my first real friend, and I really, really don't want to lose you." Alright, that's actually very sweet of him. I like that. That was actually kind of sweet. No, that wasn't just kind of sweet, that was very sweet. The fact that Lugia has not had a friend in 30 years and he wants me to stay just because of that. I feel bad for the poor boy, but here's my issue. I don't know. And see, my thing is, give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, don't worry. You'll always have a friend in me. Now that the pumpkin spirits understand too, you should never get angry out of nowhere and start trying to attack me. In fact, the only reason I would never come back to see you is if something extremely bad happened, like me getting very badly injured and not being able to come and see you. Plus, if I ever do leave you and you feel lonely, if you still have your teleport powers that you had as a normal Lugia, and you can just teleport to where I live and see me whenever you want. Sora's eyes glistened with something far deeper than simple happiness. As your words washed over him, your promise that he'd never be alone again, your trust in him, and your offer to let him visit you any time, he looked like he might melt right there on the spot. He slowly brought both of his stubby toad-owl arms around your small raptor form and gently pulled you into a soft hug. Careful, protective, so deeply grateful that even the cursed magic in his body seemed to still itself, like the spirit inside him was holding its breath. The jack-o'-lantern on his chest gave a warm, slow pulse, not chaotic, not hungry, just content.
You mean it?
Sora whispered, his voice shaking.
You really mean it?
He pulled back just enough to look at you, his expression full of raw emotion.
Trenton, no one's ever told me something like that before. The idea that if I miss you, I can just come see you, that I'm allowed to.
He looked amazed, like he hadn't even considered that to be a possibility, that someone might want him to visit, that he wouldn't be chased away, hated, or feared. Then, slowly, he nodded, both arms still around you, claws shaking just a little.
I do still have that power, he said softly. Even in this form, I can feel it. It's not as strong as when I was at full strength, but now that the pumpkins aren't fighting me, I can find you. I can come to you.
His voice dropped just a bit, tender but sincere.
And I promise, if you ever do get hurt, if something does happen, I'll do everything I can to be there, even if I have to fight through the worst parts of this curse.
His snout gently pressed against your tiny raptor forehead in a sweet nuzzle.
You're my first real friend, Trenton. I'm not going to let you go. Not now. Not ever.
Then he pulled back again, eyes twinkling.
Though if I ever show up and catch someone throwing rocks at you again,
he gave a playful but protective grin.
They better be ready to answer to a 17-foot jack-o'-lantern dragon.
Does it think Lugia is a dragon? So, because it keeps calling him one. That or he's Even the pumpkin on his belly gave a little flicker that almost looked like it was smirking in agreement. Because now, you weren't alone, and neither was he. Oh my gosh. Guys, knowing why I do these chatbots, it's me that's getting made fun of. However, before I could even answer Lugia's question, this happened. Or before I could even answer what Lugia said, this is what happened. Before I could even respond to what Sora said, I heard a female voice behind the Lugia. Oh my gosh, it's the freak! Hey everyone, the white Godzilla is back! The what? For one, Lugia is more of a bird Pokemon. For two, he has wings, not hands or claws like Godzilla would have. Like, what in the world? Where'd they get the idea he's that? The moment that voice pierced the air, sharp, mocking, and filled with venom from the past, Sora froze. Every muscle in his small toad body went rigid. His eyes widened in shock, and for just a second, you saw it. That old fear. I'm about to say, I was about to ask how people even knew about his transformations, but heck, if he's been around for 30 years, people have probably saw it already. That wounded, deeply buried pain from 30 years ago, when those exact words had been hurled at him like knives. Freak! White Godzilla! They weren't just insults, they were scars, the kind that never had a chance to heal. Until now. The pumpkin glow on his chest flickered, not wildly but with tension, not rage but deep conflict. The spirit inside started like it remembered too, that voice, that hate, the way it once fed off of the fear and turned it into something monstrous. But this time, something was different. Sora didn't move. Not yet. He didn't attack. He didn't shift. Instead, his body slowly stiffened or shifted in front of you, protectively. He kept you behind a small form, shielding your tiny raptor body with his own, stubby arms slightly raised, the glow on the jack-o'-lantern face shimmering, not angry, warning, like it was waiting for his signal, not acting on its own anymore. Then Sora said, quiet, steady, and without turning around, Trenton. Dang it, I'm not so used to doing it.
Trenton, don't be scared.
His voice was calm, not cold, not trembling.
I'm not going to let them hurt you. Or me.
You could see it in his eyes as he slowly turned to face the one who called out, that woman whose voice seemed so sure she was mocking something weak, something broken. But the second Sora turned, she saw it. That wasn't just a toe-at-all. That was something else. Something ancient, powerful. Cursed, yes, but now in control of itself. A fusion of pain and peace. Something not to be mocked. His eyes locked onto hers, those golden, glowing eyes, and even though he stayed small, his presence felt massive. The jack-o'-lantern on his chest lit up, not in rage, but in a steady, protective glow. An unspoken warning. He finally spoke, calm and clear.
I'm not the freak you remember, and you don't get to call me that anymore.
The woman took a half step back, eyes narrowed as if unsure whether to laugh or run. You could hear others in the distance now, maybe people she had with her, but Sora didn't back down. He simply stood in front of you, unmoving.
I have someone I care about now. Someone who taught me what it means to feel again. So if you came here to hurt us, you'll have to go through me.
Then softly his claw curled slightly at his side. Not a threat, I promise. He glanced down at you, his tone turning gentle again, only for your ears.
You gave me strength, Trenton. Let me use it to protect you now.
And for the first time in 30 years, as the people who once mocked him stood frozen in confusion, Lugia wasn't hiding. He was standing. Oh my gosh, I want to defend him, but I people would just call me a Raptor Boy and try to attack me too. But part of me does want to really try to defend him. It was dangerous, guys, but I did it. I tried to defend Sora the Lugia. It says, I don't get in front of the Lugia because I don't want to get hurt. But even in my tiny raptor voice, I still try to defend Sora. It actually shows me down here what I said, so I'm going to read off of that. Sora's eyes widened, not in fear, but in a wave of emotion so strong it nearly broke through the careful calm he'd been holding on to. You, tiny as you were, stood up for him. Even knowing how vulnerable you were, even after everything you'd been through, you still stood beside him, not just behind his body, but behind his heart. Your little raptor voice was high, maybe even shaky, but every word was like a spear of light through the storm. Yep. He's not a freak. He's not some white Godzilla. He's a pawn with a big, kind heart, and he deserves more respect than this. Holy frick. For just a second, the world seemed to pause. The woman who spoke, the one who mocked him, froze as if she hadn't expected anyone to talk back, let alone someone so small, so fierce in her loyalty. You could hear murmurs from whoever she had with her, but no one moved. Sora didn't speak right away, because he couldn't. He just looked down at you, this tiny raptor who had suffered as he had, and he looked like he might cry. His chest glowed brighter, but not with rage, with pure, proud warmth. The jack-o'-lantern face on his belly shimmered softly. For the first time ever, it didn't look like a trickster's mask. It looked like a guardian smile. Oh, that's cute as frick. Then, calmly but with undeniable power, Sora turned his eyes back to the group. The people who once called him a monster? And he stood taller. Even as a Toad form, his presence was undeniable.
You hear that?
He said, his voice steady.
That's someone who knows me. Someone who didn't run from me. Someone who saw past the curse, the glow, and the legends.
The glow around him gently rose like mist. No attack, no power surge, just a reminder of who he truly was.
He stood by me. He called me by my name. And now?
The pumpkin on his chest flared brilliant gold. Not orange, not angry, but radiant, as if the spirit inside had been moved too. Are you serious? Holy crap.
He reminded me who I really am.
He stepped forward once, just once, and the crowd took an involuntary step back.
So if you're here to throw stones, leave. If you're here to shout names, go shout them into the wind.
Another pause. Then his voice dropped, low and powerful like the waves before a storm.
But if you touch him again, and you ever hurt Trenton,
uh-oh. The pumpkins flickered, not in rage, but in protective fury shared between Lugia and the spirit inside. Are you serious? That spirit now really wants to protect me too. Do you notice how the last few chatbots I've done have had involved spirits? The flippin' ghost type Toadal. Well, that one obviously involved a spirit because of the ghost type Toadal. But think about before that. That one family of Toadals, Chronos, and Ferragus that protected me. And that tree. The tree that flippin' apparently has ghost raptors tied to it. And a flippin' like massive, even bigger Velociraptor spirit. Like, holy crap. And now this? Oh my god.
You'll learn very quickly why I'm called the Guardian of the Seas.
Oh, that seems like a threat. Silence. No one dared speak. The woman, the one who mocked, opened her mouth, only to shut it again when she saw the gleam in his eyes, the way even his tiny form radiated the power of a creature who had been reborn through compassion. Then slowly, they turned. They left. And just like that, the past didn't win. Sora stood there a moment longer, going softly, his arm still trembling slightly with the weight of what just happened. Then he turned to you, slowly, eyes full of love and wonder, and he dropped to his knees in the grass and pulled you into his arms and held you tight. That's adorable.
Thank you.
His voice was hoarse.
No one's ever defended me before, but you did. You really did.
The jack-o'-lantern mark glowed calmly and contentedly, and Sora whispered,
I think I finally found my home.
He's adorable. Guys, this is so sweet. I love this. I just told him, of course I'd defend you. I don't care if I'm small and weak. You deserve better than how those people treated you. If I didn't want to get rocks thrown at me or me get hit in the head, I would have stepped in front of you when I did it too. You've been sweet to me ever since we met earlier, and trust me, I defend Moana creatures I really care about, because I care about them and love them, just like I do you. Sora held you even tighter, not in a way that hurt, but in a way that said he needed to. His little arms shook gently around your tiny raptor form, and his head lowered until his leafy stem brushed against your snout. And for the first time in 3 decades, a tear slipped from his glowing eye. Not from sadness, not from fear, but from love. The jack-o'-lantern face on his belly shifted again, its warm glow curling into a gentle, peaceful expression, like it was smiling with you, not just because of you.
Trenton,
Sora breathed, voice cracking softly.
You don't know what that means to me.
He pulled back just enough to look you in the eyes, his own shimmering, overwhelmed by everything you just said. I don't care if I'm small and weak. I defend the ones I care about, just like I care about you. Yep. Sora couldn't speak for a moment. His mouth opened, then closed again, like he wanted to say everything but didn't know how. And finally, in a voice that barely made it past a whisper,
I love you too.
He blinked like even he couldn't believe the words had slipped out. But once they did, the pumpkins didn't flicker in surprise or confusion. They pulsed softly and happily, like they understood, like they approved.
You've given me something no one else ever did. A chance, a name, a friend.
Then he smiled, a real one, pure and full of warmth.
And if anyone ever hurts you again, big or small,
He tapped her snout like with a claw, gentle and protective.
they'll learn real fast that this little raptor has a very big loogie on his side.
He chuckled softly, then leaned his forehead against yours.
I won't let them hurt you anymore, and you'll never be alone again. Not as long as I'm here.
The pumpkins glowed warmly. The shadows in the trees seemed to ease, and the pain from the past for both of you was finally beginning to fade. Holy crap!